I never intended to make videos like this because I don't really want to be sort of dramatic or toxic, which is the thing people proceed before they act, say, before acting in that way. But fuck it. Um, I'm sitting here wearing a dog head on this channel, but I haven't really sort of talked about anything sort of furry related. And it is true that I am kind of sort of maybe that's difficult to believe wearing the dog head, but I'm sort of like tangential to like the furry fandom as a thing. I don't think I'm really embedded in it, but whatever. That's a judgment maybe you're more fit to make than me doing my self assessment. But I find it interesting. I've seen a lot of stuff about this, upcoming documentary or whatever about the furry fandom, and there's a lot of people complaining, saying like, "Oh, this paints all the furries as kind of like these antisocial people, okay, or these people who got bullied, and I'm not that." And I would put myself in that camp as well. I didn't really get bullied, and I wasn't antisocial and stuff like that. I went to parties, I threw parties, whatever. That doesn't matter. But a lot of people were getting triggered by this and were like, "Don't put me in that camp," which I think is stupid. There's clearly a large proportion of furries who like fell into this thing because it gave them a sense of community, and it gave them a sense where they could join in with something when in other avenues in the past, they'd been, ostracized or bullied or whatever for any reason. So it's really fucking cool that they have a place that they kind of hang out and be themselves, which I think's great, and as I said, I'm sort of like tangentially a part of that. Where things start to get a bit crazy in my eyes, and I think something that kind of helps promote the toxicity and sort of like, that sort of nature of the side of things, like all the like the weird gossiping and the cliques and all this kind of stuff, which of course exists in everything, and there's like really cool things about furry, like all the creativity and like the dude who made this for me. I mean, like that's really fucking cool. All that stuff's really cool. All that's really creative. The artwork, the people who construct things, the people who make music, the people who organize events. It's really badass when people like put stuff together and it's like, I'm making an event at this bar, or I'm making an event at this convention or whatever. Like that's punk rock. That's cool, right? But the toxic stuff that does exist, I think some of it comes from, which I never think's a good idea. I try to like link myself to like people go with this like Fursonas thing or Fursona. I think it's some of these people's personas that they make is feeding into a delusion. Because I think what happens in a lot of cases, not all, but I think what happens in a lot of cases is you get a bunch of people who are really antisocial. Some of them terminally online, some of them terminally unfunny, creating these extremely beautiful characters, right? These furries with their unrealistic, perfect femboy like thing, or their unrealistic hyper muscle sona. I don't think that's a good idea, right? I think from a mentality standpoint, if like you're spending like most of your time like terminally online, terminally in this community, role playing that you're like this Adonis or perfect version of yourself, that's kind of fucked up, right? And I do think that's only going to promote your body dysmorphia. I don't think that's a good idea, but whatever, just my opinion. I don't think that's a good idea. But I think something that comes also from these, antisocial, whatever sort of people, traditionally, creating these extremely beautiful characters, they start to like cultivate this real like false sense of mean girls energy, right? And they think that like they sort of like cultivate like on Twitter through that profile picture and however X money they've spent on art, or that fursuit which they've like got these padded muscles in and all this sort of stuff, which I'm not a fan of. Like if you love that, cool. I think it's fucking cringe that you've got a fake six pack on your fursuit. Just go work out, my friend. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like this, like, they've cultivated this, like, false sense of Mean Girls energy. And then they're sort of, like, actively living their revenge fantasies they've had since high school. Of, like, being, like, the the top muscle gay guy or the whatever, and I'm the administrator of this chat, and I'm huge. It's like, come on, man. Come on, man. I think that sort of stuff's so lame, and I do really think it's a lot of like, it's really becoming the villain, man. Like, okay, you got bullied by these, so you're gonna create a false avatar that you're this thing you always wanted to be, and now you're the main mean girl jock, and you're gonna act like you're all that to everyone. I don't know. Just weird. I thought I'd just give my little spicy furry take. Which I didn't plan. I just sat here. I don't plan any of these. I just sat down and pressed the button, and I thought I'd just talk. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it's healthy to be spending a lot of hours of the day pretending you're a 6'4", 300-pound jacked werewolf, and flirting with people who are pretending they're the opposite online, and then acting like you're the alpha dog? Because I don't think that's the vibe, man. I don't think that's the vibe.